be the question that we'll have answered in just a few moments' time. It was what seemed to be the kings and then the victims of Momentum taking bait, of course, on fnatic, a side that we have always illustrated as a team you just can't put second best in any matchup. They surprised us against FaZe, they've shown their value time and time again, but now it's time to do it for a third time. It's fnatic on the CT side, it's bait on the T side, it's Ancient, it's the C stream, and it is your IEM Road to Rio Europe.
We welcome you, ladies and gentlemen, of course, to the beautiful landscape that is Ancient. fnatic starting on that CT side, bait starting on the T side. And Captain Kirk leading the charge. He had a monster performance yesterday. And if we do the same again here, Retro, I then start to get quite intrigued.
Well, we know what bait are like with Momentum, so starting things off with a good pistol here certainly would be valuable. Alex going to kick things off with the Glock. It's Wrinkle to find the dink. Alex does the rest. Vanicados, he goes a-looking with that P2000, finds the first, tags up to a second, knows the information on a few, and that's where Fasha's Julie's try to close the gap. Alex not having any of it, and he'll still swing out to try and find another. It's mezii from both parties, in fact. Nikados is going to be given time to reload. That enables KRIMZ to swing wide, but it's still a 3v2, and it's still in favor of bait.
Yeah, this is so messy. I mean, Nicholas down to 35 points of HP. Those Wrinkles tucked in towards main. Can he clear it? It's a question. And yes is the answer. He finds Wrinkle. Hector on for one and towards KRIMZ. Leaves Nicholas and 13 points of HP. One of which he can't convert. Bait kickstart things on Ancient with a beauty, but a messy pistol round.
Hector with a 3k is exactly what bait needed in that first round, right? To get things going, you need someone with a multi-kill. You need that punctual point to go, fnatic, don't think you're too comfy in this matchup. We can do something as well. And a brilliant triple from him, just hat-tricking up there, gives fnatic really no wiggle room in this second round. It's just pistols. They want M4s in the third, so it's USPs only to work with here.
That's it. Really great start for bait. And I think what we saw from them as well is the ability from them to kind of thrive in the chaos, where for fnatic, they slightly got a little bit tentative. Gonna be a pop in towards mid. Godfash will come through. Alex doesn't want to take bait. He's going to fall back. The Mac 10 will come in for support. It's a 1-for-1.
Spam still continuing. Alex finding a couple. Kurtka wants his way, and with the Mac 10 making $600 per kill, it's only the one that he gets in that round, but bait secure a second, and only losing out on what, one soul in that round, I think is going to be something that they take with great respect, right? It's only one person that has to rebuy up to an AK, and there's plenty of cash in the back pocket. Should fnatic win this full buy, bait can just reinvest. Yeah,
of course, full buy gone out for fnatic, as you rightfully mentioned, but for bait, this is just a bonus, right? And in a world in which bait on the T side convert a bonus, this really starts to open up Ancient for the possibility of fnatic slightly struggling. So far, so good for bait, and they're going to pop back over towards A again. No one's there to meet them.
Yeah, brilliant. They knew fnatic had taken mid-control from the utility, so they increase the pace, they dart towards A, they get the bomb down. It's an unfamiliar one. A 5v5 post-plant doesn't happen all too many times on Ancient, but bait, just a brilliant mid-round call there. Guys, we're going to exploit what we think is the chink in the armor. They go aggressive towards mid, let's go back towards A, and that gives fnatic a lot of work to be done. Already a bomb that's third of the way ticked means kills have to start coming in, and there is yellow in the feed to start things off. Amster only going 1-for-1 though. Good trade, Alex in the back lines finding a second. If I'm fnatic, I think this has to be a save call.
Yeah, I think I'm calling it early. Nicolas going to find Alex, but he might even be tempted just to fall back. mezii going a little bit aggro, looking for info, but the bomb so far ticked. Ladies and gentlemen, this one's done. Bait have converted a bonus round in their favor, and fnatic are forced back to save their rifles. What a round, and what a call by bait. It's brilliant. You mentioned the mid control was fantastic by fnatic. They went nice and aggro, perfect utility, perfect map awareness from them. But bait don't care. A pop over towards the A side leads them to a free bomb plant before they've even taken a point of damage. And once that post plant set up, bait don't crumble. The fact that they're able to convert their 1v1s, convert their trades, that is a perfect executed T-side round. I mean, there's very little you can say on a negative note towards bait. That was brilliant. And that, of course, as we mentioned, was just a bonus. Now they've got the Orb and Hands of Wrinkle to work with too.
3-0. A very important round going bait's way. Was made expensive by fnatic getting 3. This is always going to be the intense approach. Great flashbang from KRIMZ. Roy swings out off the back of it. So the first kill falls their way for mezii though. He's going to have a difficult task on this A site. Left stranded solo, finding the tag. Taking a smoke as well to give him some breathing room. And I like this from mezii. Rather than playing aggressive and trying to hold the fort down, He's going to allow Bait forward and just buy time for his teammates to get him to assist him. Now he wants a bigger slice of the pie. An extra dink will do. Alex down to 10 HP, but in the meantime, Bait. Oh, there's a team kill. Wrinkles just blasted Alex's head straight off his shoulders. 4 versus 3, and that's not the greatest taste to leave in your mouth at the end of this round. The MAC-10 looking for heroics, and for Hector, 1 will do. Amster, he's able to trade, and despite team kills and despite dinks early on from mezii, somehow this has ended in a 2v2.
The only thing is that Bait have a very kind of a small amount of information to go off in terms of how this CT is set up. And they're going to fall back. This is a good call. They've got 40 seconds to work with. They're going to fall back and make a re-decision about how they want to play this. For Bait, time is essentially their best friend right now because it will force fnatic into potentially an early rotation. For now, though, 30 seconds to work with. Bomb in hand for Bait. HP not looking too prominent, all things considered, with Wrinkle on 18 points of HP and a team kill. Amster on just 44 points. They have to be slightly cautious about how they want to play this. For fnatic, it's just the buddy system.
Well, they didn't want to split their resources up, did they? That would have been the most dangerous thing, especially when Fasha's 14 HP.
For sure.
And a similar scenario for Bait this time. The roll of the dice is correct. They get a bomb plant and a free site. B was their choice. They chose correctly. For Fasha, he starts to wander in with the M4. No Bogdan's Law being played here. Wrinkle, gun barrel spotted, taken down. Amster, 44 points of health, is a 1v2. Too big of an ask. Fasha, he will nod his head yes. And Bates, they finally concede their first. It's 3-1.
Yeah, a great retake. I think the only thing that was slightly costly there was, Wrinkle being tunnel visioned over towards CT did actually provide to be a weakness rather than a strength. He was expecting that rotation to come nice and slow, temple, rotating in towards CT, rotating back over towards the back line, but not to be. And that's been a mid-aggression for fnatic, but again, a messy round. And the thing to mention as well is that, Bait in that round were using, MAC-10s quite considerably as a lot of their entry points, and fnatic still look a bit nervous. Tentative is probably one way to put it. But coming towards round number 5, it is just a mixed bag of buys. You can AK-47 in the hands of Captain Kirker, MAC-10 for Hector, and then, supporting just upgraded pistols.
Assortment of util for the fnatic side is a luxury that Bait can't afford, but an AK in Kirker's hands certainly going to offset some of that. Roy, he's able to find Hector, but dinked up 4 points of health. KRIMZ is low as well. And they already wriggle a bomb plant out of this round. fnatic nowhere to be seen out towards B.
Oh, no.
And so if a retake attempt is here, they are going to be down many a men. The nade doing even more damage to Nikodos. I think this has to be another save from fnatic. Bait just run right through them.
They're doing it. This is getting dicey, man. I mean, already up to a 4-1 scoreline, and they have to fall away. They have to play X's here. There's not a world in which fnatic can make this retake a viability. 4 points of HP to Roy, 12 to KRIMZ, and Nikolos is arguably the healthiest, and he's only got 49 points. I mean, this is being a stellar T-side performance from Bait, where they're really starting to show their prowess on Ancient, and why this, I guess we could call it a wildcard gamble pick from them, has actually ended up being so far a strength. fnatic are being tested to their limits right now. And Ryan, I think we kind of came into this maybe potentially being like, fnatic, such a good side, that'll be fine, right? This should be comfortable, but it's everything except comfortable right now.
Timeout very early from fnatic, ensuring they don't allow more of these funky shenanigans by Bait to slip the net, because so far that has really caught us off guard. Being able to find 4 out of 5, especially on the T side of Ancient, right? And you want to think back maybe to that ecstatic game on Nuke where they were, basically starting from nothing. They went 13-2 up at the half. They were a side that, when they got the momentum, worked so well with it. That's the only luxury that Bait have that fnatic can't afford to give away, is that they are such a momentum-heavy team in this RMR so far. Yeah. And so the fact that they've allowed 4 through the net in the early stages of Ancient, specifically on that T side, I think there's some cause for concern here for fnatic, and that's why the timeout's called, to try and fizzle this out, ideally in this round.
I think it's pretty safe to say that this is already starting to get a little bit of a cause for concern right now. Flash will come through from KRIMZ, just making sure that A aggression doesn't get too much map control. And that's been something which Bait have been brilliant at. Their map control, their ability at aggression and controlling the chaos has been something which fnatic have maybe slightly actually underprepared for. Right now, so far, so slow. Hector holding some ramp aggression. Captain Kirk already pushed up. For the time being, nothing to be found right now.
A little bit disappointing that fnatic are giving up A once again. It's KRIMZ that plays passive towards Donut. It was mezii beforehand, the A player that sits in red room right now. So actually, they have no knowledge on A. That's because the majority of the resources are dependent on B. And Nikodos' AWP, something that's been very vacant in Ancient so far, going to deliver the first. Amster has slipped the net completely. mezii got to turn. Doesn't have to read. Now it's roeJ's turn to try and hold things down on middle. Hector's going to find the AWPer out towards B. And so these strings are being pulled once more. And they're just being hung in limbo here, fnatic. Bomb plant once again. 3v4 scenario. This is another save call for fnatic. This is another round they don't want anything to do with. That might just breathe some light back into this round, though.
Yeah, I mean, if Alex low on HP, there definitely is a possibility of a retake, but they can't keep saving this early on, right? It's going to become a point where this starts to become, well, too little, too late. Utility will come through. Fasher will fall to the hands of Hector, and that'll prompt it. They're falling back. They're gone retro. Another round in which bait, their map control, and a post-bounce scenario forces fnatic into an early save call. Now we get to a question as well, Ryan, of, you know, how many times are we going to see fnatic call for a very early call to save and not even kind of test a retake, especially when, you know, the numbers are level. 3 versus 3 there. They send Fasher in alone. When he falls, they immediately fall back. And roeJ falls as well to the hands of Hector. Can't even save the rifle.
Yeah, it's definitely been a bit of a disappointing one. I wanted to have a look, right, top 50 teams on Ancient, sort of how the split works, right, in terms of the stats. If you start on the T side and you go 5-1 up, the odds of winning that game are 77% statistically. A sample size of 104 as well, so it's not even small numbers that we're talking about here. Bait have put themselves in such a strong position early on. Conversion rates are so high from this spot. The problem is, I don't think they account for a team like fnatic, who definitely can pack a punch, especially when they look beaten down like they are right now. Sure, it's early on, but the game is not over.
I gotta ask you, Ryan, are you concerned right now for fnatic? How are you feeling?
You've got to be. You've got to be. I think it's very obvious. Okay, roeJ. I mean, he was blind. Hector just pre-fired the angle, was like, nah, no one's going to be there. And was like, oh, shoot, there actually is someone there I've got to squeeze the trigger at. And that's roeJ with an M4 caught off guard. I do agree with you. There is definitely some cause for concern here. fnatic are in no position to chill. But I'd say give them, you know, till round 10. If they haven't won another gun round till then 100%. Like, if it's 9-1, mate,
alarm bells.
You're calling all sorts of health service to help you out here. Nikodos is Deagle. Certainly going to try and pull off a bit of an upset in this round. Quite a micro level. It's only good for one. Amster going to catch off mezii as well. Fasher caught in the corner. Alex will flush him out. And KRIMZ now left again in a 1vx scenario. This time against 4. Sure, he's got the A1S in his pocket, and the first kill is to his name. He's got 3 hungry players, though, from bait. Surely shouldn't let this one happen. Oh, he spotted the AWP, and he seems to have an inkling. Amster's behind KRIMZ. This would certainly be rolling back years. Wrinkle swings out, though. AWP, missed shot. Now Amster's got to play the game of chase. It's an AWP picked up. KRIMZ taps it. No swing. Gonna hear Amster moving. KRIMZ missed shot. Had he have hit it, that would have been one of the sickest 1v4s, one of the sickest clutches of the RMR so far. But bait come out on top. It's made expensive, but they've got the luxury of cash. fnatic lose out on another. It's 6-1.
The land veteran nearly showing his prowess. I mean, that was so close. And of course, another consideration where we look towards yesterday's results against Ecstatic. 15-2, crumbled all the way to overtime, where there's been a potential, kind of in recent history, of bait, you know, ever so slightly failing to see out rounds or, you know, on the most important macro scale games, right? And that's another scenario. In a 4 versus 1, the fact that it goes down to such a fine margin that, you know, if KRIMZ has maybe 50 points more of HP, he potentially wins that round. He takes a tag, re-peeks in, uses the AWP to good use. But not to be. 5-round lead. Alarm bells for me are slightly starting to ring out that the question of too little, too late begins to play on our minds just a tad. But right now, I'm not going to get overly concerned. I'm still impressed with what I've seen from bait, but fnatic just look a little bit asleep. Once they wake up, maybe we start to see them come back into this. So far, so good for them.
Round 8. A big vocal point for fnatic here, where they invest all of their money once again into a full buy. As KRIMZ to hack at that T-side economy. That grenade has kicked things off with a bang. A beautifully placed HE from roeJ, who is wielding the auto shotgun in round 8. Ooh. There's an M4 to pick up, though, fella. Kirk has just deleted Fasher out on long.
Spam will come through. Alex has already made his way and evaded that smoking towards mid. So for the time being, his priority is just denying transition, right? Denying those rotations back over towards excavation, deny that wrap in towards cave, and actually buying the space in behind for them to maybe go once again for that secure A take. KRIMZ is going to be tested. He nearly pulled off a 1 versus 4. Can he make this one work? As he goes aggro in towards May, and still be his first test, and he passes.
Got to back out though. Oh my god, there's so many players close to him. Had he have stuck around for half a second longer, he would have been dead meat to the bait side. He would have been the fish on the end of the hook. But KRIMZ is still taking souls. What a brilliant performance. The A-hold now has cavalry as Nikodogs brings weight to the site. It's Wrinkle and Hector now that are left wondering with 30 seconds to go what they can do to make this one expensive for fnatic. With both players separated from one another, it's going to take time to regroup the forces, and even if they want to go for a push, they know they're just going to be giving away weapons to that CT side. So a save call drawn out quite late in round 8, but it's one that Bait will respect. It's an AWP and an AK kept, but it's a second on the board for fnatic.
I don't think it's the worst call to be made by any means. I think the idea in a mid-round adjustment to go back over towards that A site had definitely the foundations behind it, probably the best way to put it. But unfortunately, KRIMZ just too strong, right? I mean, a really good hold. Finds the first kill in towards main and towards Amster. They don't expect KRIMZ to be so aggro in that position. The fact that he can fall away on trade, though, that's what cost them that A site so dearly, right? If they had found the trade on towards KRIMZ, Nikodos is still in transition over towards Temple, so he can't set up the AWP. He can't deny that presence out from main. And then there's a whole conversation about, once again, the post-plant scenario, which looks so good so far for Bait. But unfortunately, not the case. A little bit slower on that trade coming through, or the lack thereof, and that did cost Bait. 6-2, fnatic chip away at this already quite increasing deficit.
What do fnatic have up their sleeves in this round? Nikodos, the magic trick where he waves the wand and places the crosshair on Wrinkle, but Kurtka, a double. Just caving in that B site once more. Roy now has to hold things down. Kurtka, that is a clinical triple. KRIMZ and mezii left alone, and this has to be another save. Bait takes 7.
Wow.
It's not quite Brazil in 7-1, but 7-2 will certainly do. KRIMZ, he's able to find Alex, but you feel like this is a fight that doesn't even matter this round. I feel like it's still shut in favor of Bait.
And, you know, coming in towards this game, we highlighted Wrinkle. You know, 17 years of age, a young AWPer who's been making a name for himself. Really struggling to get off the board. He's only found 1 kill. I know it says 0, but he did get a team kill earlier. But Captain Kurtka, he's continuing the beautiful form online as of yesterday. He was 34 and 25 yesterday for 101 ADR, a 1.43 rating against Ecstatic. And despite them choking it, he was the shining light. mezii, a shining light in his own regard for fnatic, but only going to be good for exits in this round. Bait, off the back of some brilliance of their captain, that is Kurtka, are going to find themselves a 7th. And what a way to do it too. Individual brilliance of the highest regard.
The Captain Kurtka. Nice one there.
Thanks, man. I do try.
Everyone's seen what you've done there. Well done, mate. Round of applause.
I do try. But no, honestly, that was brilliant.
Yeah, what a brilliant round from Kurtka. Like, this shot here as well. So snappy to Roy. Obviously, he gets the audio cue, but just expecting a swing from the left. Not going to happen. mezii as well. Fortunate to pick up that kill short. Only 1 weapon kept across. That's the issue for me. Look at the money for the CT side. And the 3rd timeout drawn out in the first 10 rounds here for fnatic. This is round 10. They've already burnt 1 minute and 30 out of the 2 allocated minutes they get in a best of 1. Just, I don't know, mate. They definitely are looking second best right now for Bait. Pole position. They're looking damn good here on Ancient.
That's it. Retro, okay. We said round 10. That's where we have a conversation about is this getting concerning. Now, what's the thoughts? We hit round 10. What are you thinking?
Are you not going to give me till the end of round 10, or are you pushing me for a response now?
At 7-2, I'm starting to get those alarm bells.
Well,
mezii going aggro.
There we go. That's more like it. Good pace, good timing. mezii. Oh, Kurtka! No. More fortune. Cracks open the cooking, and it's another hat-trick for Kurtka. He's just denying everything for fnatic. He's a one-man job that goes for 3 on B. Nikodos already posting up towards A, thinking, yeah, I reckon this is a save call from me, chaps. KRIMZ, where are you? Let's get the hell out with these guns. He could have had a bit of a task to deal with out towards A. Kurtka's just shifting through. Or making a single step, but he could wander into the AWP. Nikodos, where he positions himself back out towards A, and this could get scary, because if Bait still want to commit to the A site. And they've got Nikodos to deal with. Sure, there's a flank.
Yeah.
But there is a man that sits in the net.
Oh, no.
KRIMZ creeping in, tapping away, on for the ace, finds himself 4. No stopping Captain KRIMZ. KRIMZ, can he even keep hold of the M4? That's the question we'll be asking. But the exit of this round gives us doom and gloom. Neo, I think easy answer to your question. fnatic, I would be damn scared of this scoreline right now. 8-2 the position. I'll bring you back to the stat line that I brought up at 5-2, right? And I was saying, you know, if it was a normal game, top 50 teams, you had a 71% chance of converting it. From an 8-2 scoreline, Neo, it's an 86% chance of converting it.
So what are you telling me? Odds are looking pretty good for Bait to go 2-1.
It's a 1 in 7 chance that fnatic wins, statistically, from this scoreline. If KRIMZ can keep hold of the weapon, you would give them a little bit of leeway. But a molly and an AWP holding your angle certainly is not the way you want to exit this round. Wrinkle picks up the last. Sure, he's denied of the ace, Mr. Captain KRIMZ, but that is a brilliant job well done. That's, what, 7 kills in 2 rounds now.
Yeah, it's a beautiful quad from Captain KRIMZ. Bit of fortune favours the bold here, finding mezii. But the most important thing about that round, Bait in the name, Bait in the game. That's what he was. He was selling a ruse over towards that B site. They've only been going for a B hit, and he finds 4 kills. That is brilliant. He does exactly as the team is named, and he baits all the attention over towards that B bomb site, and they can't deal with him. Individual brilliance, once again, of the highest regard. I am so impressed, and this has forced now fnatic down to a less than opportune low buy.
Listen, we jumped into a call an hour and a half before this game started, and we were sold on the fact that Bait wouldn't have a chance in this game. Surprise, surprise. Whoa, in this round, we've unraveled another present, and it's a gift from fnatic. Fasha. Oh my good God, Fasha. That round is ridiculous. The Flying Scoutsman, no, the Flying Dutchman. He's just found himself 2 through the skies, no scopes galore, and fnatic have a 3rd. Maybe there is a chance. It was a cheap shot from fnatic on the pistols, but man, do they make it look good.
How do I analyze that? There's no way.
There's none, no.
There's no way. We need to see that again. I mean, that is brilliant from Fasha. Okay, finding the first kill, that's great. Flying down, no scope for the first, and then for the second as well.
Nice.
Amster, take a seat, sunshine. Good night, next round. Fasha, that is brilliant. They needed to rely on someone to step up to find a bit of success, and Fasha takes it into his own hands, and what a way to do it too. And he finds yet one more. Insta-trade comes through from Hector with a Mac 10, but still space over towards this B site. They're fighting desperately, but fnatic are holding on well as Roy finds 3, and it's down to Wrinkle. 1 versus 4, AK in hand, and he's got 10 points of HP. He taps away the IGL and mezii, but 3 more bodies to find.
This is it. This is where we start to see fnatic hit the groove, their comfort zone. In their element, starting to hold sight, starting to communicate. Util's looking pretty good. Bait have just been 2nd best in this round. And for Roy, he's maybe looking to close the show. It's been a pretty quiet game from mezii as an individual, but it has been 4 others stepping in his place. 9 kills on KRIMZ, 9 on Nikodos, 8 on both Roy and Fasha as well. This is really well played. Listen, I'm not sold just yet, Neo, but if we start to see more of the same, if these patterns start to form, that fnatic really are hitting that groove that I talked about in this round, and if they're doing that on a more persistent basis, 8-7, you know, it's not the most horrific scenario to work from.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, there's a real positive sign for BA or Bay already that they have guaranteed a lead at the half on arguably the most seated map in the pool. But as you mentioned, if fnatic can kickstart their momentum, kickstart their sort of resurgence, and start to find at least as even as a half as they can, 8-7 as you mentioned, that is actually really great from them. From how slow things started, if they can find some success like that, then you begin to make a conversation that there's a possibility. Nikodos, AWP will open things up, Wrinkle to 4. But this should be clean, cut, and concise from fnatic to find a 5th there. It's just pistols.
Nicely done. Great shot from Alex. KRIMZ deleted. M4 picked up in his pockets. Hoping maybe for a chance. Fasha will decline quite nicely. Yeah, you know what? It's a Glock. I'll accept it. Kirk is here to kind of bail Amster out. Sometimes it does get like that with the Glock, though. I feel that pain. Been there many a times. Maybe not so much against fnatic, but I've been there.
The pea shooter. Against armor.
It shoots water. Genuinely. It is a water pistol against armored players.
Absolutely useless at times, to be perfectly honest. So I don't blame Amster. There's even a conversation here. There's Amster dropping over towards Captain Kirker, right? Give him the AK because of how good he's been with it so far. But no, he's leading the charge, Deagle in hand. That they're going to a stone.
mezii, a little bit to deal with. Makes it look easy. No worries at all. The cleanup crew is in. And the resurgence of the big man is back. 5 now for fnatic. It was 8-2, so 3 consecutive rounds posting somewhat of a threat here maybe against Bait. This round will build the telltale of this half, though. The penultimate of this first half. If fnatic can make it 6, there's no money for that T side. If it's Bait to make it 9, there is every conversation that they still have a great chance of winning this map. Sure, the odds certainly would have slimmed over a 1x bet. He wouldn't have flopped completely, though. AK can't find anything. KRIMZ and mezii, 3 for 1 out towards middle. And just as quick as we tried to hype up this round, it has been slammed, in fact, in the faces of Bait.
Down to already Wrinkle Amster, and there's even a conversation for them to keep hold of what they've got. With $150 combined between the two, testing the water towards A does get dicey, and especially when Nicolas is picking them apart. First foul, a smoke will come through, but Amster left in a near impossible 1 versus 4 now. To find any success here is going to be so difficult. Never mind a bomb plant.
A bit of a pickle, mate, as the British slang would be. For mezii, unfortunately, not going to whittle out any British humour to his teammates, at least for the rest of this round. Amster drops out the AK, picks up the AWP, finds a second. So while Bait don't make it 9, they certainly do make it expensive. fnatic do have a luxury, though, where money isn't exactly the worst place for them. Amster realising, oh, do you know what? If I was higher health, there's half a chance I win this round.
For sure.
If you want to look at it at a more serious level, money for Bait is low. Chances, well, you've only got the next round on the T side before, of course, you head to that 2-minute break and you were halted in action until you start that CT side. And for him, he thinks the AWP is the luxury that could get them that 9th. So fnatic will make it 6 for now. We'll have one more stab at it, though. roeJ, oh, good tag. Hold on. He has the bomb and a plant to come out from this. I thought he was saving. I completely overlooked the fact that he had the C4 in his back pocket. He knows roeJ coming in from lane. Flash blinds his teammate, Amster. Such a neat angle. If roeJ swings out, he's dead. Meat, no doubt about it, Amster. A 1v4 down to the line. And it's Flash that has to decline. A molly and a smoke, but neither would help against the AWP. Maybe the smoke on top of the bomb will do. And he will indeed drop it. Amster more and more nervous. Flasher swings and Amster connects. That is a sickening 1v4. Amster, you animal. I thought he had no chance. I was already wrapping this one up to be a fnatic 6. Instead, no, the dark side takes over once more. It's Bait up to 9. And fnatic left gobsmacked, jaw dropped. What just happened?
Amster, take a bow. The versatile king, the AK,
What?
the AWP makes it all work. I mean, that is something short of spectacular. Arguably one of the best, if not the best clutch we have seen thus far in the road to Rio. What a performance from Amster. The isolation of fight is nothing short of perfect. And fnatic, I mean, they must be kicking themselves. That was a free round. They found 3 kills in the first 10 seconds. And they've thrown away another opportunity to find another desperately needed CT round in their back. I mean, how has that fallen to the hands of Bait? Amster, I mean, take a bow. It's Amster as well. We're just living in it. What a performance from him. To isolate those fights, that is just insane.
Don't take Hooksie's worlds and apply it to Amster. Giga Chad Hooksy would not be happy about that. They're going for the same approach, though, fnatic. They know it worked in the beginning of the last round. This round is a different story. And Alex, he'll write chapter 1 his way. mezii slam the book shut. Nicolas is AWP, flicking up, doesn't hit the shot. Instead, goes for the repeat. A smoke, saving Amster's life. For mezii, he's enabled from Donut to find a second. 3 versus 4. Sure, fnatic didn't quite have the advantages in the last. You'd give them a slightly better chance than the previous now, though. Wrinkle, something to say about that. Hushing me quite quickly. AWP just swings into the open, has to duck out of the molly. And it's into the open and into mezii's crosshair. Kirker going on a wild flank. mezii seems to have everything red in this round. It quite literally is his to lose at this point. Amster lobbing out the flashbang, trying to bait something in. It's another tap from mezii. Jumps over. Nicolas, the AWP will hold. Takes away the ace from mezii. But it's a 6th on the board for fnatic. Mate, it was messy. It should never have been that close. And Bait to take the half is a massive statement made. Can they continue to close things out on the CT side? We find out after the break. Don't go anywhere.
Hey Future Pros! On Ancient today with a helpful little A-split smoke. To throw the smoke, take mid control. Easy, right? Then get into this corner. Aim at the middle of this spot. And jump through the smoke. A nice, easy lineup leading to a useful smoke that can give you some good options on the grueling T side of Ancient.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. What a half from Bait Esports, 9 rounds in a dominant showing on the T side. And a beauty of a 1 versus 4 from Amster 2. Not one to forget anytime soon, that's for sure. fnatic, slightly concerning stuff, Retro.
Yeah, a little bit worrying. I think, you know, to get 9 on your T side is pretty sick. It happens. Against fnatic, though, I don't know. I think there's a whole different argument to be made. Certainly one that fnatic will be losing for the time being. A T-side pistol definitely would put them right back on track, though. Let's see if they've got it in their pocket. Smoke towards A. Deployed in the face of Wrinkle. Hector has to play more passive. But this is a complete oversight from fnatic. What happens if they gamble A? They've done so. And the roll of the dice is just so happening to be number 8. It's 10 on the board for Bait. No questions asked about that one. KRIMZ denied. And that is a brilliant pistol to start things off. Bait gamble. It was a 4-man stack on A. And they still go for it, fnatic. Lose out massively. It's 10 on the board. And now it's a short sprint to 16.
Captain Kirk is a very lucky boy as well. He runs out of ammo, in fact. But
yeah,
fortunately, his team members back. A couple of pop shots with the smoke, see things off. But spot on. I mean, the call there is brilliant. Again, I mean, this is for me being a calling masterclass by Hector. I mean, he's out IGLing mezii, which is a very tough affair to be doing so far. mezii tries to, you know, replicate the call we saw in towards the opening pistol, where the gamble stack over towards A comes through from Bait, and they just, you know, try and prioritize a bomb plant. This time out, though, Bait read it perfectly. A nice full buy for them coming in towards round number 17. This should, all things considered, be a mop-up.
Fasha has other plans at least. Denies Alex of life. Bomb plant as well to come forward. Amster Crushing KRIMZ off of the temple push. MP9 as well up close. Always going to be second best in those engagements. For fnatic, this was never a round about winning. It was just a round about damage and getting a bomb plant, and they succeed in both departments. Sure, it's 11 on the board from Bait, and fnatic are 5 behind. The extra $800 per player, considering this is an eco, though, will give them that extra step in the right direction. It's stacks of cash. Could even be an AWP on Nikadov if Fasha wants to chuck it across. More importantly, though, it's a full buy with all the extra trimmings.
That's it. And of course, for those joining us here on the stream, first of all, we do thank you. I'll update you across the board too. It is over in the other games. Game Legion are 11-4 up against Spirit, which I think is a monster performance on them so far. On the other side of things, Bad News Eagles are beating Astralis 13-3. Retro, nice and spicy on other streams. It seems we've got the most even affair, but Bait looking great. 11-6, got a nice healthy lead ahead of them. But this 4-buy coming out for fnatic desperately needs to be converted. And if it isn't, it's back to the drawing board and to the chopping block for them.
I feel like this is the one with the biggest upset as well, so make sure you stick around to see if fnatic can make the comeback. Of course, you haven't already, whip up the squad streams, have a look at them all. Enjoy the Counter-Strike we've got going in the roads to Rio. The run-up to the second major of this calendar year. For Bait, they definitely want a big slice of that pie. To take down fnatic would be a colossal result in the right direction. Of course, your draws in round 4 are dependent on how round 3 goes. Certainly, Bait will be given a little bit of slack, especially after beating fnatic. A definitive performance for them. First minute clocked out though, Neo. So far, fnatic playing things super slow here, just making sure Bait are using utility, keeping them on their toes more importantly.
Oh, spam coming through. Alex will take a little bit of damage, but same can be said for KRIMZ. In towards excavation, the initial point of contact seems to be set, and Wrinkle, who's had a slow start, will be tested alongside the IGL of Hector. They need to bomb the flying colours. Wrinkle will fall. Hector makes it a double though, as roeJ and KRIMZ fall, and that brings the numbers back in favour of Bait.
Yeah, and this is a big round for them to be winning. Swinging out goes Kurtka for a double. And the captain sails his ship to 12. It feels that way at least. Going for the overheat. Unfortunately, Nikadov will call him down. But Alex able to rile up for one as well. It's 12 on the board for Bait. Mate, what a sick game this is. That CT side drawing out every conclusion dry for fnatic right now. It was a full buy in the previous. It's a 4th timeout called. And this is going to be a last-ditch effort and an attempt for the run-up for 16. This is brilliant for the Ukrainians of Bait, though.
I've got to say, I am so impressed. I'm in love with what I'm seeing from Captain Kurtka. As an individual, he has been seriously brilliant. He's doing everything a captain should do, leading the way forward when it comes to his point of contacts, his frags, his ability, his impact. Everything has been so great from him. And not just today. Yesterday was exactly the same against Ecstatic, when things were looking dire, when they lost, you know, what was it? Kind of 13 rounds on the trot for it to go to overtime. It was always Captain Kurtka who was the shining light in a dark situation. And now, in a very bright sky of stars, he still shines so brilliantly. What a performance from him so far. 17-11 with 102 ADR. He has been putting fnatic in their place. And of course, 4 out of 4 timeouts called for the fnatic roster. They're starting to really feel the pressure.
Oh, look at the nade damage done. fnatic are just being displaced by Amster and Alex. Through with the AKs, using their force against them. Hector with the 4th. KRIMZ. I think the show will be closed quite soon, and they are going to shut up shop here in round 19 quite quickly. Grenade is right, but KRIMZ spammed down by Alex. Even a bit of disrespect to the body afterwards as well. We like a bit of that, the body spam coming out. Bait trying to get in the heads of fnatic here, 13-6. I think they've already achieved their goal of getting into the minds maybe of fnatic, because this is a game, fnatic specifically starting on that CT side as well, because it was Bait to pick the map.
Yeah.
How were they second best even in the first half?
Oh, mate, I think they have fully achieved being... They're rent-free right now in their head. fnatic are absolutely crumbling under the pressure that is a Ukrainian masterclass here from Baby. What a performance from them. 13-6. They are 3 rounds away from seeing out the number 18 best team in the world as of right now. A titan of an organization and a team who everybody expected to comfortably net themselves a position towards a major. And right now, it's not looking so comfortable. Hector holding it towards edge. Flash will catch him. Tried to fall back, but roeJ to open up the proceedings as he opens up the scoreboard with a kill on Hector.
So there we go. fnatic starting off on the right foot this time. roeJ has cave control. Nikodos expecting a bit of ramp pressure here. Alex has crept up close. Is this going to be an oversight from fnatic entirely? Nikodos, oh yeah, you can't get aggressive on your own there. There's no player to trade. There's no player to bail him out. Wondering, do they know that Nikodos was in that close corner? Personally, I'd go hunt him for that kill, especially when you've peeked out and seen no one there. But Bait just want to play with numbers right now. They've got 4 of them. A complete oversight in general was cave instead of ramp. roeJ going to take down KRIMZ. Alex will have his way and his say at the beginning. Bait's campaign in round 20. A second kill, no try. Hamster, good damage, no kills. Oh, Alex with a spray transfer like no other. Whips around with a 180 and brings things back down to the 2v2. Sure, the team game looks better for fnatic, but they don't see into the heroics of Alex 666. And it could be more than 3 in this round for him. It's good timing on KRIMZ. They're going to start to waddle up on long. KRIMZ is going to have a look. Oh, I think he's deep cave. I don't see him out on sight. And there's a 4th kill for Alex. Knows where Fasher is. 7 seconds to plant the bomb. Trying to punch in the digits. Alex has his ace. And that is a monster performance from the Ukrainian once again. Bait have 14. Bait have Alex. And Bait have every single chance of pulling off the upset.
Bending bullets and dodging them like Neo from the Matrix. What is that second kill, by the way, on the site from Alex? How has he bent it through the wood? I mean, what a performance from him. Again, the isolation. And we've got to take a look at a replay here. You know, as we mentioned, roeJ kickstarted things. Everything was looking great. Excavation, cave control, brilliant from him. And then Alex says, don't worry, boys. Rolls up the sleeves. I've got this. That shot on towards roeJ is stellar. And then the timing on the flank is perfect too. Catches one, spots the transition on towards the side, and denies the bomb. Everything is nothing short of perfect. For Bait, this now just seems like normal proceedings to see out this game, and what a way to do it too. It's a statement against one of the best sides in this RMR in its entirety. Never mind Group A, Group B, or any of that nonsense. In the entire RMR, fnatic is seen as one of the most titan organizations and sides who should guarantee their spot there, and Bait have got other ideas.
At least if you're looking at namesake, fnatic have always been part of Counter-Strike's history. Sure, you're allowed to have an off day. You're allowed to, you know, lose an upset. But a game against Bait, I don't know. I'd be worried.
Same here. It should be regular proceedings, right? This should be the fnatic we know and love, seeing this one out. I mean, even when you look at the individuals, in their previous rosters, their previous iterations of their teams, even them, they would see this one out. fnatic, mezii on endpoint, the ex-Copenhagen Flames boys, even ecstatic with Fasher. This should be a comfortable matchup for them to see out Bait. They know who these guys are. They've played them within the tier 2, tier 3 circuit, but there's a different kind of beast coming out of Bait so far.
Oh, great shot from KRIMZ, man. On a personal level, he's been unreal for fnatic. roeJ,
agreed.
Picking up an overextensive Alex from last round, definitely feeling it this round. An early exit. Wrinkle was well caught out on solo, and it's been 3 1v1s that Bait have tried to take. They don't come out on top on any of them. mezii through the smoke to find the last. fnatic up to 7, but it still is that sullen tone in our voices because fnatic need to double what they have to catch up to BA. It's 7 consecutive rounds required to get back into this one and to tie up with Bait. They need 8 for overtime, and every single round from now if they want to close things out in regulation in their favour. That's a lot to ask, specifically on that T side of Ancient.
Do you know what? Normally in any scenario, I would say this one seems done. It seems like cannon fodder, you know, rounds, seconds, minutes of seeing this one out. But Bait choked the 15-2 yesterday. So I'm not going to say this one's done and dusted just yet. We know Bait have had problems seeing out rounds, seeing out games, seeing out series. So for the time being, I'm not going to fully give up hope on fnatic. Amster, laboured spray, gets punished by the AWP of Nikodos, but he's unable to cross on towards site as Alex steps up once further to bring the numbers back level.
Brilliantly done. Hector jiggling in. M4 now drawn. Thinking about getting aggressive. It's going to be roeJ up in his grill. Is he able to defuse the situation? No, roeJ adds more fire and fuel to the flame. Alex thinking that he slipped the net. Fasher, all too knowledgeable about that one. mezii was smoked. He's not having any funny games today. I think fnatic have realised it's crunch time now. They can't afford to make a mistake. Covering their backs in every department. I think those kills enough to seal an 8. Wrinkle and KRIMZ probably going to be left to save now.
I think it's probably the safe call, especially with the AWP in play. I mean, they wouldn't be able to reinvest into an AWP next round, so try and keep it as best they can in the mixer going into round number 23. This should be, all things considered, pretty comfortable to see out an 8th on the board. Then again, we did say that earlier, and Amber had other ideas. However, this time out of Roy finding Captain Kirk, leaving Wrinkle all alone, AWP in hand, it's got to be a safe call. Tuck the AWP in towards stairs, maybe park up in somewhere like Cave, and just try and see out those last remaining seconds before the bomb goes off. So, what do we see so far? We see fnatic up to an 8th. A much, I guess, more decisive showing on the T side, but there still is a long road to recovery, right? I mean, there's a lot to be done for me to see out fnatic taking this one. They will be able to drop the AWP, or so I say, in fact. Wrinkle takes damage, but he hasn't been dropped as of just yet. Smoke will get rid of the Molotov. Roy might just push through it off the back of the flash, and a shot by Wrinkle sees Roy's Glock seeing off the AWP. But, back to what I was saying. Where do we stand now? fnatic up to 8. Do have money to work with. Should have a very comfortable conformed buy coming through. For bait, not exactly the same scenario. All things considered, this should be a pretty low buy from them unless they opt for a force, which I don't really advise, to be perfectly honest. I think it'd be a very risky investment. But it still is a long road to recovery, but it's much better from fnatic, is it? This is the kind of fnatic we know and love. They're a little bit more uniform, cohesive. There's definitely a team synergy around it compared to their CT.
Well, to put this into perspective, right, at the time of us viewing this, Bad News Eagles have taken down Astralis, Bait are beating fnatic, and Gamer Legion are beating Spirits. It's 3 Ancients across the streams, and it is 3 upsets ongoing right now. 1 complete, 2 stories still yet to be told. For fnatic, it was an easy night. It was against those pistols. They make light work and mince meat of those Bait players. Still work to be done. 5 consecutive rounds required to catch up. It's 6 in a row to take the lead, and 7 to ride the waves out in its entirety and to take Ancient away, despite what has been a brilliant beginning from Bait. Let's see. What do we have in store for us in round 24? A lot on the table here for fnatic. All the chips in the middle of the felt.
Also to mention, just to add to that, you know, of course, upset with BNE and Astralis. I mean, maybe an upset. At the other time, with kind of how weak Astralis are looking right now, potentially some people say that is the expected results. Synopsy went 28-7, a 2.36 rate. I mean, what a game from him. I mean, that is unreal. And we're seeing similar showings of a couple of individuals, you know, leading the charge. We said Alex have moments of brilliance at Ace. Captain Kirk kick-started this brilliant run on T side from Bait. And now it's about that conversation we were having earlier, right? Can they see out games? Because we saw them yesterday struggle to do exactly that. From 15-2, it went to overtime. So I'm not too comfortable just yet.
Yeah, certainly don't relax in your seats if you're siding with the Bait boys in this best of 1. Still a little bit of work to be done. Sure, they've done a lot of the heavy lifting, but sometimes the hardest rounds to close are the last rounds, you know?
That's it.
Certainly is one that you've got to pay close attention to. For fnatic, we've kept 2 smokes and 2 flashes for the late round here. One is on the hands of Roy, who positions himself in Cave. The other given over to mezii, I do believe, from Nikodos. He's out towards A himself right now. Roy's going to make his way around. He knows that mid's clear. KRIMZ has got quite a deep position. Donut not cleared. It's a double stack from Bait. fnatic are going to multi-prong attack approach out towards the A site. Alex finds Roy through the smoke. Wrinkle finds KRIMZ. We're down to 3. The rotates, the cavalry. It's all starting to arrive, and it's all Bait now. Nikodos fires off the first. Blinded. Kirk's assist. Amster's kill. Map point Bait.
And a flawless way to do it as well. Not a single point of damage over towards the Bait side. I mean, what a round from them. Again, we speak about isolation of fight and the map control that Bait are utilizing to their advantage, and that is another prime example. fnatic tried to go for a split over towards the A side, and they get punished in every facet, every position. And that's credit to the setup that we've seen from Bait. Their crossfires have been immaculate, and they give no room for error over towards fnatic. And any slight micro adjustment that they do in a wrong nature, fnatic get punished. Credit to Bait. Once again over towards mid, trying to take a bit of control, but a util dropped, but they've got no room for error now. fnatic Bait on that point.
Oh, great flash from Hector, saving Kirka from certain death. Not going to be deployed. Kirka still taking fights with KRIMZ, and he comes out on top through the smoke. fnatic try and charge them down. It's Nikodos and mezii that deliver, firing off through the wall. Alex is going to bring the numbers in favor of Bait. and a hectic start to round 25, but it might just be the last start. 1:12 on the clock. Hector to drop Fasher, and they're 1 kill away here, Bait, from securing themselves a 2-1 position. It was fnatic's game to lose, but it looks to be Bait's to win. Roy, or rather Nikodos, excuse me, he's going to find the first. Alex and Amster, work to do between them. Can Nikodos catch the flank?
Oh no.
Certain death could be in sight. He does manage to spot out the player, gets the information. Alex slips the net, wanders away. Things look okay for Nikodos, considering he was in the 1v3 to begin with. Certainly not a position you'd expect fnatic to be in, but look to the top middle of your screens. fnatic, how on earth have they wandered into this position in the first place? They've got a mess to clean up, and it has to start with a Nikodos 1v2 to be the saving grace to stop Bait from finding 16. And I personally don't see this one happening. Nikodos still trying to wander around, find these kills. Alex is back, doesn't spot him. No one did, in fact, for fnatic. There was no reaction from Nikodos.
How?
Alex, 6 seconds. He's got to go for the kill. Nikodos hits it. Bomb plant to come out as well. Rotate from Amster.
Alex gets so unlucky there every single time. Timing is his worst enemy. But just now, bomb down. Post plant set up in towards Donut, and Nikodos going aggro in towards mid. Information collection needs to be our priority. He needs to understand that Amster, surely now he realizes he's rotating from CT, but he's not going to find the kill. Ladies and gentlemen, the upset potentially of the RMR, the upset potentially of the day, it's going to be Bait taking it down fnatic in a statement win, 16-9, and what a performance it was from them. Brilliance from Alex, Captain Kirk, a wrinkle at times, and the Bait boys go 2-1.
That's brilliant. You can't argue with the scoreline. Bait take victory in the best of ones. It's fnatic that are beheaded by the Ukrainians. Of course, it's a banger matchup to say the least. And as you look back to the highlights, you've got to think from, well, beginning to end, Bait just looked a step ahead. They